Hi guys, just a very quick analysis of Dax40. Let's get straight into it quickly. Um, so as you guys can see, we had a W formation in this region with the neckline being there. We saw price coming down to retest the neckline, and it seems as though we will from this moment see the market head up, and that is because I usually say that when we have W formations, we'd love to see price come to the neckline to retest it and then push further up from there. So as we speak, there are a lot of traders and investors who have bought at this point, and the anticipation is that um, the market will reach this point, which is where many of them will take their profit. So let's continue. So what else do we see on this monthly chart that is interesting? We also have, or rather had, an M formation in this region with the neckline being there. We saw price breaking the neckline, coming down to this point, and then going back to retest it. Similar to the W structure that I just spoke about, when it comes to M formations, we just want to see price ideally breaking the neckline, coming back to retest it, which is where we would look for selling opportunities, and then we would love to see price move further down, right? Um, Nonetheless, let's continue. I think I'm just going to add a neckline to that M structure just so we don't forget about it. And as much as we have this M structure, it seems as though um, price will actually move past this M structure. And that is because we, as I said, have this W structure over here. And we saw price rejecting here. And I told you guys that a lot of investors and traders started buying from this point. So my expectation is that price will actually break through this level. However, it is also possible that price may bounce here and then move further down to whichever level. But long term, I believe that price will break this level and at least come to this level once for, or rather once again. So let's continue. So that's a monthly chart. From here, I'm just going to move down to the weekly chart. Actually, before I do so, let me just point out that we also have this candlestick over here. It is a bullish candlestick with a small body and a long upper wick. So we have a whole lot of liquidity at this level, and the market needs to reach that level to grab that liquidity. So in fact, let me just mark that level as well, because it is also very important. Let's see. Just bear with me, guys. There goes the level. Yeah, from here I'm just gonna move on to the weekly chart. So here we are on the weekly chart. Let's see, what do we see on the weekly chart? On the weekly chart, we have this candlestick over here. It's a bullish candlestick with a small body and a long upper wick. By now you know that that means we have a lot of liquidity sitting at that level, and that the market needs to reach that level to trigger that liquidity. Let's see, what else do we see on the weekly chart? On the weekly chart, just bear with me. On this particular chart, we also have a small, it's actually quite big, but in relation to the monthly chart, it's small. Nonetheless, let's continue. It's an M formation, and we can see that the neckline has been broken. So what may happen next is we might see price heading to the neckline to retest it, and price may actually push down from there. So what I'm going to do now actually is just add a neckline to it. Just bear with me. There goes our neckline. As I say, guys, price may bounce here and then push further down, right? Is there anything else of interest that we see on this particular chart? And the answer to that question is yes, because as much as we have this liquidity candlestick over here and this one over here, we also have another one here and another one there. So price needs to indeed reach this level. There's a whole lot of money sitting there, and the market needs to trigger that liquidity. So from here, what I'm going to do is head down to the daily chart. There we go. Here we are on the daily chart. Let's see. There goes our daily chart. So what do we see on the daily chart? On the daily chart, the first thing that I can see is that we seem to have an information here. I actually spoke about it on the weekly chart, and I said that the neckline is there, and that we might see price heading to the neckline to retest it and then push further down. Let's see. Another thing that is also very interesting is the fact that we also have a gap in this region, and gaps represent liquidity. So there's a lot of money trapped in that area, and we expect at some point to reach this, or rather, we expect price to reach this area at some point. So it may happen that as much as we have this huge M structure here, and the anticipation currently is for price to retest this market, this level, price may actually just shoot straight up to this level to grab that liquidity, and then push further down from here or push further up from here, because I said that we also have liquidity at the previous highs, right? Let's continue. So what else do we see on this chart? Is there anything else of value that we see? Actually, before we continue, what I'm going to do is add the daily channel. However, before I do so, just to go back to this huge M structure that I spoke about, can you guys see that the information is actually not complete, because price started here actually. That's where price started at, and in my humble opinion, it may be that price is going up to retest the neckline and then push further down to this level to actually complete that M structure. That's one of the things that may happen. So we just need to keep that in the back of our minds as well. So let's continue from here. As I said, guys, I just want to add the monthly channel. Let's see, or rather the daily channel. Let's see, how would I add my channel? Just bear with me, guys. Let's see. We just need to ensure that our channels are accurate. It's one thing that I keep stressing. There we go, guys. So from here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna head down to the H4 chart, seeing that at this point I don't see anything else. But let me just also point out that we have another information here with the neckline being there. However, at this point I'm not going to draw the neckline, as it is still quite far, and the most important neckline is this one, which is the neckline of that huge M structure that I spoke about, and as well as this gap over here, which is carrying that liquidity. Nonetheless, it may happen that in the future price may come to this level to retest the neckline and then push further down, right? However, let's not concentrate on this one for now. Okay, let's move forward. From here, what I'm going to do is head to the weekly chart, or rather the H4 chart. Also, let me just point out that similar to the US30 analysis that I did, as well as the Nasdaq chart that I analyzed, we also have this W formation here, or you may refer to it as an inverted head and shoulders pattern. And I said that when it comes to W formations, what normally happens is a lot of investors and traders buy at this point and buy again at this point once the neckline has been broken. So what happened in this region is that this W structure formed, or this inverted head and shoulders pattern formed, and a lot of people bought here, and they bought once again on the break of that neckline. So which means that this entire move, in my humble opinion, was a stop hunt, and that is because of the fact that there are a lot of stop losses that are here that have been placed by those who bought here and then bought again at this region. So this whole entire move is a stop hunt, and we are likely to see price actually move further up from here, right? Anyway, let's move forward. From here, I'm just gonna head down to the H4 chart. On the H4 chart, I'm just gonna fix my my daily channel just to make sure that it is as accurate as can be. Just bear with me, guys. Let's see. There we go. There we go. That's fine. Right. Right. Um. So, as much as, guys, don't forget, as much as I say that this whole move, or rather this move, is a stop hunt because we have some stop losses trapped here, just also in the back of your mind, remember that we have this huge M structure and we have its neckline being over there, and I said to you guys that the neckline is yet to be tested, so we might see price coming to this line, or rather to this level, to retest this neckline and then push further down to end where that M structure started, just to complete it. So we need to keep this information also in the back of our minds as we keep going forward. Nonetheless, let's proceed. So here we are on the H4 chart. So what do we see on the H4 chart? What do we see on the H4 chart? Before we actually continue, I'm just going to add a channel to this H4 chart. Just bear with me. Just bear with me, guys. Let's see. So there goes my channel. There goes my channel. There we go. So we can see that the H4 channel here has been, or rather is in the process of being broken. However, price is yet to close on the side of the channel. So it may happen that the current H4 channel actually closes inside the channel. We don't know for sure because it hasn't closed. But if it closes on this side, I'm telling you now that a lot of people will be looking to buy, and that is also because we also have in this region a W formation. It's an overextended W formation, and a lot of people already actually bought at this region. Others are waiting for price to close on the other side of the trend line, and once that happens, they will buy again, and that is because the neckline of this W structure will also have been broken. Nonetheless, I think it's tricky to sell or rather to buy at this point, and that is because so here's a W formation, here's the neckline. That is because we also have this neckline of that huge daily structure, which is that M formation. And I said to you guys that what may actually be happening right now is price is heading up to retest the neckline of this huge M structure. So in my humble opinion, it is very much risky to be looking for buying opportunities at this stage, and that is because we have two opposing formations, and to me it doesn't make sense to have an M structure and a W structure which are both almost sharing a neckline. So this to me makes no sense. I hope that makes sense, guys. But as I say, it is very risky in my humble opinion to be looking for buying opportunities at this stage because of this neckline over here, and I said that price may bounce off this neckline and actually push further down, right? Also, another thing that is very interesting is that we have this candlestick over here. It's also a liquidity candlestick, so that tells us that price also needs to come down to grab some liquidity at that level. So what I would do actually right now is not do anything. Actually, I would actually wait for price to get to this point and see how it reacts at this point. And at that point, we might see it actually move further down. If it closes above this point, if the daily candle closes above this point, then I think we may start looking for further buying opportunities to that top that I spoke about, where we have that liquidity on the daily chart. Let me just see again, where we have just bear with me. Let me go to the weekly chart. Yeah, where we have this liquidity here, this candlestick at this level. There's a whole lot of money sitting there, and the market needs to grab that money at one point or another. Yeah, guys, so that is it in as far as my analysis goes. If you have any further questions or comments, just make them in the relevant section. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.